What is up, y'all? Welcome to my fantasy football podcast. Super excited to have you. Man, check out my Instagram. Just want to plug this before we get into it. Cosmic Football Analysis. Only at 16 followers. Man, give me to 100. Shout your boy out. Give me to 100. Would love that. Let's get into our recap for the week, man. Chiefs might be back. That's the big red bold headline here. Last week it said that the Chiefs suck, and this week it says the Chiefs might be back. So here we are, CBS Pick'em, 10 for 14 this week, sitting real nice in the top 1,000 out of about 13,000 pickers. Record for the year, 92, 170. That puts me over 50% at a real nice margin. I'm looking to keep picking at about 10 to 11 picks out of the 14 these next couple weeks. I am grinding these things out, man. I want to be in this top board here so that I can really get good at making some money off these spreads. Because if you're sitting above 50%, that means you can be profitable if you're putting your units right. CBS Fantasy taking a loss for the fourth time in a row, man. I'm just shambles. Started out the year so strong here. I thought I had them by the freaking cojones, but here we are. Still sitting at second, but we are in a four-way tie. I got to show you this loss, man. Jordan Addison, 0 points off one target. Jamison Williams, 0 points off 3 targets. And look at this awful guy on the bench. Jamar Chase, 0 points on 0 targets because he was suspended for spitting on someone. So just a shambles on my side of the ball. Sean Tucker coming off a 40-point performance last week. Comes in here, 4 points. That's the running back special when you pick them off the waivers. That's why nobody else picked them up. Otherwise, fantasy, we took 2 good dubs, sitting 500 here, sitting 7-5 here, 8-4 here. We are actually going to make the playoffs in all of these. That's what I'm very happy about. And let's come down here to our bets. It was good stuff to make some money. $279 profit on the weekend. This includes a little bit of college football. If you go back to my Instagram and you check out my story, there are some, like a little San Francisco points, a little Brian Robinson points, little Colby Jackson, Colby Parkinson picks, and then a bunch of college picks here. We're all over the spread here, but I am going to give them out to you. So make sure you follow me on there because we are making money on this side, man. Up $279 with all these bonus bets coming to Missouri. Follow these affiliate links in the bottom, man. We need to make some money because you got hundreds and bonus bets coming. Get up on these boys. Get up on Vegas early because once the season gets over, I won't have nothing till August again. $75 profit taken though this year. That's very nice, and sitting 733 plus on the year. Again, we're not trying to kill ourselves here. We're not trying to make a big financial stake here. I'm not a bala. I am very I'm very frugal, if anything. So $733 or $730 here is amazing profit for me. That's why I took 75 out of it because I need it. And like we're saying, Chiefs might be back here. Let's hop into our recap for the week. Bills get after it, but not on the offensive side. And Texans got after the Bills. I thought this game was very interesting. Obviously, it looks like the Texans dominated the Bills, but that's if you just watched the right tackle get his butt kicked the whole time. If you saw the special teams plays by both of these guys, this was a battle to the end. I mean, every time Josh Allen got the ball, he was within the 15. And if not, they were just in a bad position to start with. And also, no offensive touchdowns. So Texans obviously pitching a great shot here, but man, I got to give some credit to the Bills here, man. How Ray Johnson, a backup running back, bust one, 50 yards, touchdown. Okay, easy. How about a kick return for a touchdown. Special teams touchdowns, I love to see it. Obviously, a lot of field goals to cover the rest of the points. But Texans, great game by them. Davis Mills at quarterback. Some people don't even know who that guy is. He's out of Stanford. He's an all right guy. Kind of a commander, style quarterback. Just tells everybody where they need to be, what they need to do, and makes the right decisions when he needs to. So if the Texans can keep doing this, they look pretty scary, not going to lie. But I don't think they can continuously do this. I don't think this is something they can do on the road. But we'll see. I could be proven wrong very easily by these guys. Jets, Ravens here. Lamar, he can't move. That's pretty funny. But it's not funny that he's injured, but it looks funny that he can't move. And Derrick Henry, obviously Derrick Henry is going to get a bunch of yards, move the football down the field. But it's funny that Lamar Jackson just is a pocket presence now, and we have to rely on his arm. He's not bad with his arm, but it's the running threat that makes him good with his arm. Tyrod Taylor for the Jets, I think he had about 200 yards as well, 260 yards. So we got to give that guy a little mark of approval here. But there's no excuses for the Ravens now. They are not playing the Jets for now on. I think their schedule is going to get a little tougher. So the Ravens really have to put their bootstraps on. I don't really, what are you going to keep saying? They're injured, the coach, what? No, they need to fix it. Every good team would get past their injuries just like the Houston Texans did. Steelers, Bears, wow, barely covered here. Steelers kept it real close. I think we sided with this one just because we didn't have much faith in the Bears. But, man, I got to give a huge shout-out to the Bears defense, man. 14 interceptions combined by the top 3 interceptors in the league. Okay. They all just so happen to be on the same team, too. I just love that. These guys are getting a bunch of snaps. These guys are getting a bunch of stops. These guys are getting a bunch of interceptions. 14 takeaways for 3 guys. And again, the top 3 interceptors in the league are all on the same team. So if you're trying to throw it against the Bears, good luck, buddy, especially when you have a backup quarterback here. I saw Kevin Bird. He made a phenomenal interception this weekend. Just great catches across the board on a defensive side, which usually you don't get to say that. Steelers do cover, though, so good for them by half a point. Vegas knows what they're doing with that. Patriots, Bengals, I was so scrappy with this one, and I knew it'd be a close one. I knew 7.5 points was going to be too much, and it was. Should have stuck with our gut. Bengals cover, good for them. Bengals, maybe they're not a bad team. And Patriots, be on the lookout, man. These guys are about to get chopped off. They're at the top of the world right now. Drake May's in an MVP conversation. Man, just wait till he gets smacked in the mouth. I can't wait for it, quite honestly. I love the kid, but once he gets hit and rocked, I don't see him playing a complete game for the rest of the innings. Giants, Lions here. Ooh, called the cover. 10.5 points is a lot. And Jameson Williams, probably one of my favorite players in the NFL right now. Just doing what he does best, man. If I need to play tight end, I can. Jameis Winston says. Dude is legendary. Celebrates amazing. I just love this guy. Total personality. If you could have anyone on your team, you would want this guy. Oh, Packers, Vikings. Ooh. Emmanuel Wilson for the Packers. Got to shout him out. We talked about him on the program here. Huge breakout performance. Huge points up for my CBS team here. Although a loss, he did put up 27. So he was pretty much my only scorer besides my quarterback here. So I've got to give a big shout out to Emmanuel Wilson. Good for him. Good for the Packers. Defensively wise, Micah Parsons getting after J.J. McCarthy. J.J. McCarthy does not look good. He is arguably the worst quarterback in the NFL. I don't know why he's still starting. I don't know what they continuously keep putting time into him. And with 5 yards in the second half, that's all I need to say. Colts, Chiefs, didn't cover. Again, this half point really, really, really matters. And I think I knew that, but I was just telling y'all I can't call it the Colts, because if I called the Colts, then that would mean they would have ended up winning. Not really, but I just know that I need to side with the Chiefs here. I'm okay with living with this half a point. Just recapping the game, Kareem Hunt, insane plays, 30 carries, carried the team practically. Um, Obviously, some huge plays by Hollywood, Rashid Rice, Worthy, Noah Gray. Big shout out for catching a pass and getting knocked out at the same time. And obviously we had great, Travis Kelce, he's out there too. But Kareem Hunt, when you have 30 carries, when you're getting in the end zone with force and you're converting about every 3rd and 1 that we have, I really got to give you a shout out. So thank you, Big Reem. And you looked very swaggy when you showed up to the game the other day. Looked like you were about to kick their fucking ass. There you are. Beating them up there. I see you. Seahawks, Titans. Ooh, Seahawks do not cover 13.5 points. Obviously, humongous spread, but leaving it within 6 points of a 1-10 team was very interesting, as I thought. Seahawks, maybe there's a little bit of a struggle here, and the defensive side, maybe. This is supposed to be where they're good, but Cam Ward, rookie quarterback, 256 yards. I like him. Very mobile. In the pocket, obviously, and he can toss the ball too. But talking about a guy that's mobile, Jackson Smith in Jigma. 1,300 yards on the season so far. Dude is a unit, getting 75 plus per game, every game this year. No one can stop him. I don't know why, but no one can stop him. So I'm going to continuously pick the Seahawks. And part of the reason why is I was over here looking Rams, Seattle, Indy. These guys are all very good against the spread. And again, Indy hits against the spread too. So, keep these spreads. What teams are kind of paying attention to that too. Jaguars, Cardinals here. We knew the Jags would cover. I'm so glad they won. Cardinals, put a little live bet on them. Lost like a glorious fool when they were getting closer to tying it. Could have just taken them before. Cleveland Browns. Look at these guys. Shador. I got a heart next to Shador. Not because I'm like a fangirl or anything, but I love seeing a young quarterback come out here, stun the league, and just do your thing. Obviously, a couple of his passing, touchdowns were, or one of his passing touchdowns was a screen pass. The other one was a phenomenal throw. So he's obviously got what it takes. I love seeing his dad up there, just watching him, being so supportive of him. That's just amazing, man. And Myles Garrett, my God, who are you, man? This guy comes in, man. He'll just wreck a play. He doesn't care. He'll come in there. He says, "Hey, Geno Smith, get on the ground." I think he just tells him. He should just start telling him. It may help their shoulders out. Philly, Dallas. Ooh, what a comeback. 21-0 comeback. We don't usually see those. And for that to happen against a favorite at home was nice. Landon, who? I think Landon Dickerson is his correct name, Mr. Tom Brady. It's not how you talk. If you haven't seen that, go check it out. Go see what Tom Brady said about Landon Dickerson. Comeback, it was very good. And then the Cowboys, are they for real, man, or what? Like, is George Pickens going to come out here on Thursday and, give us 70, or is CD going to start catching balls, or Dak going to start running in touchdowns, or is this just a weekend thing? I'm trying to figure it out. So Cowboys, very inconsistent, but they could definitely turn their season around. I'm going to give them a little hope, but not on Thursday. That's for sure. Atlanta, no like huge, notably things to talk about here. I think Alvin Kamara being out for the Saints is a little sad. And I guess you don't need Michael Penix Jr. or Drake London. I guess Kirk Cousins can get it done. Um, so that's important to know that you don't really need your number one guys all the time. That's very sarcastic because if you don't need your number one guys, then they're probably not a number one. Buccaneers. Oh, I make myself yawn. Buccaneers and Rams. Here we are. Rams number one, obviously. Or is this just kind of stretching? This might be a little overreaction Monday, but I think that the Rams might be the best in the league. I'm not saying they're going to win the Super Bowl, but right now, today, November 25th, these boys might be the best in the league. Carolina 49ers Purdy needs to stop throwing the ball away. So glad they covered, but just by a couple points. Ended up being 7.5 on a lot of major sports books. And with Bryce Young throwing for 498 last week and then 168 this week, that's almost 3 times less. I'm not here to make fun of the kid, but I'm just saying, like, stuff is crazy, man. And what else is crazy is this freaking crock punch. You can't do that, man, especially when your hand is already clubbed up because something's wrong with it. Come on, man. You got to be better than that. Man. Looking at the rest of our schedule here as a Chiefs fan, we got this Indy crossed off. We're going to go to Houston this week. We're going to go to Dallas. And then we're going to come back home, and we got Houston coming to us. So we got a little Dallas fest coming, and then a little Charger action at home. So we get a little 2 at home. And then at the Tennessee Titans, walk the dog. And then Denver at home, which will be an amazing one. And then we can take on the Vegas Raiders wherever with our backups. Just want to put you all on a couple bets here. Bears plus 13. Go ahead and slide that up for the one minus 250 odds. And then the Chiefs minus 180. That puts it at plus 110. Put 100 on that bad boy. Let's go ahead for that one. Here is a very nice 5-leg Miami, Seattle, Rams, Chargers, Broncos. All favorites, obviously. You don't have to ride too hard on this, but I love this one. I think I got about 60 on that bad boy. Coming in here to my teams, just picking up a couple guys on the waivers. David Neal as a running back, I think this is someone that you really want to look for. He's going to pop up everywhere. And they're playing Miami, who is not notable. Last week he had 11 points when Alvin Kamara went out in the second half, so he could definitely have a great game here. So I'm going to look a little bit on David Neal there. I'm going to look up a little bit on David Sampson because Judkins going out early. That would be very good for Dylan Sampson, but not good for Mr. Quinshon Judkins. Here we are, Dylan Sampson. Could be a nice pick here. I'm going to go ahead and claim that. And we're going to slide down here. Just don't know who to drop. I don't think I need the running back, actually. I think we'll live with that one. That's just a great pickup, personally. Trey Benson, if you can find him still, he's on about 50% of leagues, so he might be gone in yours. Troy Franklin, I guess he's only like in 35 to 43% of fantasy leagues picked up. Yeah, here he is, sitting on the bench. So I'm going to pick him up and drop one of these lousy receivers, probably like Romeo Doubs, who never catches the ball. Oh, actually, or Sam Laporta, who's on IR, but IR, I just want him to go deeper into IR. Perfect. All right. Jameer Dyke from Mr. Cam Ward, his quarterback. He's been getting a bunch of throws lately. Last game was 21 points. Ooh, yeah. Games are looking good on a stat sheet. Yep, 21, 3. Oh, yeah, it's 16 2 weeks in a row. Let's see if he can piece in 2 weeks in a row here. Good for him. Well, good for him if he does it. And then Brenton Strange is a tight end. Make sure you're looking for this big bad. Oh, Colston Loveland, if he's out there. Mason Tyler's a pretty good one too. But Brenton Strange came out last week for a fantastic performance, 14 points. And then they're going to head over to the Tennessee Titans in Nashville. Let's go ahead and add those. And perfect. All right, and then we're going to go down here to defensive teams. One of the better ones that you should be looking on are the Chargers, who are going to be hosting Las Vegas. And then kind of my sleeper pick this week, Dolphins. We talked a little bit about Devin Neal running the ball against them, but I think the Dolphins are going to run anytime they try to pass the ball. They've already given away their three best receivers, and Rashid, Cooks, and the other guy that was there. Poor, Saints, but this is where they are. This is where they are destined to be, it seems. Other than that, just want to point out a couple things on money picks. There is already 95% of the money on Eagles and 98% of the money on the Chargers. So be wary on all these picks. Don't just be picking all these favorites, especially right now because these lines are inflated. But other than that, it's been a phenomenal day. It's been a phenomenal weekend. Get after me on Instagram, man. Follow me. Talk to me. If you need any advice with this sports betting stuff, again, DM me. Reach out to me. And much love, man. Peace. See you on the next one.